hurricane hit. I thought, this is it. D-Day's come again. Trying to run from it with my family, trying to reach the shelter. Should have known that was a mistake. Barely made it to a church when they rejected us at the shelter. Don't know why, but I could guess. We're one of the minority families. We ain't that important. We survived the hurricane, but much of our life didn't. In the end, I had to try and contend with the construction crews and losing all of our old jobs in our house. Now we're squaring up in the church's emergency shelter camps, trying to manage day by day what we've lost. Son-in-law barely manages to earn enough to feed us for a day. My daughter, she tries to sell whatever she can after making it. Then it just costs her more money to buy it all back. My granddaughter, we're trying to help her finish high school. But in New Orleans after this accident, it ain't that easy. She's trying to find a job herself, trying to support us, trying to help us survive. Thing is, with limited labor and limited jobs everywhere after this accident, it's not easy. My grandson was trying to help after being passed over twice by the construction crews. He was caught. Police magically found him just at the right moment when he was trying to pick up some supplies from an unlocked car, some cigarettes, box of beans. Doesn't sound too bad when I think about it. But damn, were they right there. It's almost as if they planned it out or the timing was just too good. Remind me of my time in the Air Force when you know you're in an ambush, but it's already too late to get out of it. Things aren't easy. My family's trying, I'm trying. I can't find work though. Can't be a counselor at the Veterans Hospital when it fell down. We're trying day by day to survive, but nothing's working. It's just getting harder.
Love is the magic of changes. With the power of love, impossible became possible. With the resistance of love, confinement became freedom. And with the passion of love, we moved from separateness to togetherness. I woke up at 5 in the morning, laying in bed, stretching until my mom prepared the breakfast. Suddenly, I remembered, wait, I'm the mom. I just dreamed my mother. As usual, I start to make coffee first. The smell of fresh coffee was wafting through the kitchen. For a second, I got distracted by a sound like a whistle and looked out the window. The tall fir trees and moderns were dancing with the wind as it was whistling through their branches. My caring nature as a mom put me back to what I was doing. Life was going lovely until the sky started crying, while the wind was screaming loudly through our city, New Orleans. I was calm and cool until I wasn't. Our house was dancing while the wind was singing. An old clay pot, a moment from my mother, broke into pieces. The break sound of the pot woke my little son up with wet eyes. I felt darkness. I felt a cruel devil is coming. I felt my mom had a message for me through my dream. And I finally felt my loved ones are in danger. August 29, 2005 was the day of Devil Mother Nature. I wrapped my little son by my arms like a burrito, screamed at the entire house, "Wake up! We have to go! The hurricane is here! We have to go, now!" The devil mother nature started to war with New Orleans. My family, along with other people, ran to a church like a soldier who's looking for an ambush. My son and daughter were crying while my husband and I were protective over our loved ones. But my dad was calm like a tree in a stone and thinking, Devil Katrina didn't care about love and life. But I remember once my mom told my dad, love and life belongs to great risk. Now, I know what my dad was thinking. To resist. The word my mom taught to me and my dad. Our risk was resistant with the power of love.
If only we knew you were on your way, we would have run away. But how could we know when no one told us? How could we know when no one intentionally told us? You were just an excuse for all the oil drop price, the deep federal cuts in social welfare. You were just a beautiful cover-up. You were so good in your job that you made the government blind to the existing segregation among Louisiana and Mississippi. The existing gap that blacks in Mississippi faced in comparison to whites was intentional. It was intentional because how did whites of the same town receive 10 times more of the net asset on their household income while blacks' income decreased exponentially? You made it possible for white men to take all the resources to a point where they stood in the way of New Orleans in 1960s and 1970s. What a beautiful cover-up you were for them. You even took this intentional segregation and blamed it on yourself. But you were a costly cover-up. You left my family stripped off our homes, and when my grandpa questioned your legitimacy, you blamed it on how the land had become disposable. You took all this on and blamed it on yourself, dear Hurricane. At the expense of our homes being stripped, our families forced out. Thanks to you, you made all this a possibility. You made losing our homes legal and forcing us out of our land essential. My last question to you, dear, is how much of this was your intentions and how much of it was theirs? Were you also a subject for their cover-up, a vehicle that gave enough legitimacy to their wrongdoings? Or were you just an intentional, beautiful cover-up? As I finish my last years of high school, I can't stop thinking about how much of this is for our protection and how much of it is for their protection. I keep looking at my classmates who were not forced to move, who still have their homes and live on the same land that forced us to leave. I was only 9 when you wrapped us around your fingers and threw us at every direction you desired. But now I'm not the same naive girl. Now I have lost a brother to this cruelty called protection, and I have lost my family's home that kept us all together to this legal paperwork that has entrapped us in this shelter we refuse to call our home. I felt as if you would never leave us, but after you left, things became harder. Little did I know how our skin color would determine how we would be treated. I mean, we weren't living in the 1960s, when my people fought for our lives, but boy was I wrong. I cursed the day when you left us with our city further damaged than before. Even when we yelled, "Somebody help!" no one was there to hear us, since they all had left days ago. How could I trust them when they left us, when they entrapped us, when they ripped our homes out of our hands and turned them into capital-making machines? How could I trust them?
13 years of tears and forgotten voices of entrapped souls being silent so their story goes untold. August 29th, a city in a fight for its life, the modern day Atlantis, as the state takes away its rights before the day is light. 1,300 shades of black sit idly waiting for the saints to come marching in, instead ending up drowning in the wind while the government commits the ultimate sin by turning a blind eye on the city where the levees lie, so the water continued to rise. Sounds of a mother's cry, tears from a sister's eye, bloods from my brothers. White supremacy's like bleach, it doesn't work well with the colors. Continue to displace me, then place me in a space they call the commons. Then use the color red to put a line around it. Land, dreams, family, as it seems they're willing to risk everything because in their eyes you was never American. Martin Luther had a dream, America wasn't quite what it seemed. They used the storm as an end to a means, or a means to an end. Remember in Mississippi they had 238 lost in the wind. As the politician to another, thanks for the hand. Florida, what about you? We gave 14 to you. Kentucky, here's 1. Alabama and Georgia, 2 for the each of you. 1833. The number continued to rise like the water in the streets. before it becomes waist deep. 3,666 eyes closed forever. Lift every voice and sing. Silence falls to deaf ears, tears dried up with lost fears, as 1 in 3 black Americans could never return to the only place they knew, home.